let's get into the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What?
Starting with
Another poop show.
Starting with the new QB1, are you drafting Trevor Lawrence this year, and would you draft him as your starting quarterback?
No.
I would
Definitely
draft
not,
him,
and
not
no.
as my starter.
Yeah, I'm drafting him as my backup. I think he's definitely worth
sure.
Take it.
a
Go
shot.
ahead. You can have him.
I will take him.
Take
I
him.
like.
Y'all are
I-
sleep.
I'm
I'm
taking.
sleep. I'll stay sleep.
Y'all are sleep.
Look, I don't know exactly what his NFL talent's going to look like. Obviously, he's been a prodigy for a few years now.
A few. Since like middle school.
Yeah, teams have been talking about getting Trevor Lawrence and tanking for Lawrence for so long. Jaguars did it. They got him, and they actually have a pretty solid receiving core around him. With DJ Chark, Marvin Jones, they added. They have Laviska Shenault in the second year. So I like Trevor Lawrence as like definitely a backup quarterback in most leagues. I don't think I would be comfortable drafting him as my starter unless it's dynasty and I'm pairing him with another like older veteran quarterback or something. But yeah, I like Trevor Lawrence. I have him at QB 17 in my rankings. So you could easily squeak into that top 12 if he has a really good season. But obviously he's a rookie. So there's a lot yet to be seen. High range of outcomes. But I'm drafting Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he's going to be the next big thing for sure.
I like him. All right, let's get into the backfield. Which Jaguars running back are you drafting first? James Robinson or Travis Etienne?
This shouldn't be a question, dude. It's easily James Robinson. Etienne is just there to help. James Robinson had no one last year. He had no help.
Yeah.
You have TJ
He
Yeldon.
was that offense.
TJ Yeldon. Is that his backup?
Chris Ivory?
I don't even know who his backup was, dude. I couldn't tell you. TJ Yeldon was on the Bills, I think.
That's my point, though. We don't even know who it was.
It was just James Robinson.
It was literally James Robinson. He needs needs some rest.
Carlos Hyde is RB, the third running back, and then Dare Agumbawale is the fourth.
Dare.
Who was the second, though?
Or whatever. Yeah.
The depth chart is Etienne, then James Robinson.
Oh, we're talking about this year.
I thought you were talking about last year. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm definitely drafting James Robinson first, but I think it is close. Their ADP right now on Sleeper is James Robinson RB22, Etienne RB23. So they're being drafted back to back. I'd take Etienne with a flyer. He's obviously has a rapport with Trevor Lawrence already. I think he also might take away the pass catching role from James Robinson because he was a very good pass catcher in college. And if he takes that away, James Robinson turns into almost more of a like touchdown dependent guy where he's going to get rushing yards. And I don't know. I like Etienne as well.
So you're
I think it's going to be
Derrick Henry.
No, definitely not calling him Derrick Henry. That would be his ceiling, I guess, in that kind of role. I think Etienne's super talented, though, where they drafted him. But James Robinson's still the guy for me. He's still the guy. I think he's going to get the first shot. And if he's able to hold that down, James Robinson's the one.
It sounds like you're playing both sides here, Sean.
Yeah, right.
No, I think I like both.
James
of them. I have him
Robinson
25 and 27.
Set it in stone.
James Robinson might be the
He
biggest
had
steal of the draft.
1,000 rush yards last year,
got
7 touchdowns, added almost 400 receiving yards on like 40-some catches. I don't care about Travis Etienne. He's not taking anything away from J-Rob.
Devin Ozigbo was his backup last year.
Oh, yeah. Matt had him on his IR
I
spot all
owned
season.
And
Because
just
he sucked.
quickly to go over what I was talking about earlier, I think the Rams should make a trade attempt for James Robinson.
Ooh.
I don't know what they would have to.
They would ruin him.
No, he would be the star on that.
Oh, wait,
He
the
would-
Rams?
Yeah.
I don't know
just
what
think he's going to.
what they have to give up, but
For some reason, the Texans were in my brain.
Oh.
They're like 7 running backs.
I know.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think James Robinson, if he were to somehow end up on the Rams, there would be no talks of Darrell Henderson or Jake Funk.
Jake Funk.
That would make J-Rob early second-round pick.
Definitely.
Yeah, James Robinson would definitely be solid on the Rams. They'd have to give up a little bit more to get him for sure. But yeah, this backfield's, I think it's more of a toss-up than Matt and T-Gods do. But if you roll with them, draft James Robinson confidently.
It's
as your
not a
RB2.
toss-up. It's not a toss-up.
He's a low-end RB2 for me
No.
at this point. I'm a little bit scared, man. If he loses that passing game, he had a lot of receptions last year.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a lot to say in who he wants.
Yeah, and Etienne was his man's in college. Same team.
You just called him your backup. Now you're going to say, fuck him.
Yeah, because you don't come at James Robinson like that.
He's not coming at anybody.
All right. Let's move on to the wide receiver core. Which wide receiver will be the best draft value on this squad? We got DJ Chark, wide receiver 33, 79th overall. Chenault at wide receiver 46, 111 overall. And then Marvin Jones almost going pretty late here. Wide receiver 52, 137 overall. For someone that was, I think he was top 20 last year.
Well, since week 10, he was top. Well, he was wide receiver 5, finishing over like D-Hop, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, and such.
He was wide receiver 18 last year. So
I feel like we've been talking about Marvin Jones like starting to get old and stuff for a while now, and he just never stops. He had 76 receptions last year.
Yeah,
Regardless, I'm taking Laviska Shenault.
I still think Marvin Jones has the best value here.
When
Easily.
He was the
wide
guy,
receiver 52.
Yeah, when he was the guy, when Galladay was out all those weeks, he put up lots of good games.
Yeah, as long as he hasn't lost a step, which I don't think he has, Marvin Jones would definitely be a good deep threat here. But I like all three of these guys. It's hard for me to pick just one. I think they're all going to be involved on this offense, but I think DJ Chark still is going to be the clear wide receiver 1 here. And I think he'll display that early on in the season. I like DJ Chark a lot. So that's even at the earlier pick and earlier price as your flex. I'd like DJ Chark as my flex this year. So getting into some cap or no cap. Tim Tebow does not make the 53-man roster by the start of the season. Cap or no cap?
He's making it.
Cap. It's too good of a
Unfortunately,
storyline.
he's making it.
They can't go back now.
No cap. He's not making the roster, bro.
Right now, he's listed as the 4th tight end, but I think he's making the team. Chris Manhurts, James O'Shaughnessy, and Luke Farrell.
Fuck O'Shag Hennessy.
I think we need to let Jesus decide on this one. I don't think
Jesus
We all
take
got
the
Tebow.
wheel.
Let us pray.
Let us Tebow. All right. Forgetting about Tebow, cap or no cap, Trevor Lawrence has the potential to finish as a top 8 fantasy quarterback this year.
Cap.
No cap.
Biggest cap of all time. I always say biggest cap of all time, but this is the biggest cap.
Oh, man.
All right, it's cap. I agree. I do
That's
think
like
he has some
Abe
upside,
Lincoln's
but
hat.
top 8 is tough. I mean, he is a
That's
rookie,
high.
though. We've seen
That's
rookies
high.
have good seasons, but yeah, I think it's cap. I don't think the Jaguars are good enough to get him to that point unless he is super above what we're all expecting here.
Yeah,
He has
I
to be
wrote down,
thrown like Joe Burrow was last year.
Even better. Joe Burrow was like,
No, I mean like as much.
yeah, and at a better percentage and more touchdowns.
And
Just as much. Just throw
And
as
not
much, Sean. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying he would have to do even more. All right. Last cap or no cap.
Not
here.
even worth it.
DJ Chark is currently being undervalued at his ADP of wide receiver 33. Should be considered a top 25 wide receiver.
No.
Cap. or
I
no
have him
cap?
ranked at 36, so let's be technical.
Yep.
Cap.
Yeah, I don't think we're disrespecting him. I won't be surprised if he finishes top 25, but that's not where I'm taking him.
Yeah, I'm going to say cap as well. I have him at 31, so I have him a little bit higher than his ADP, but I think he definitely has potential to be wide receiver 2 again, like he has been in the past. We've seen it already. And he has a better quarterback now than he's had, I think, in his career, I would argue, with Minshew and Foles and whatnot. So Trevor Lawrence obviously has the potential. If DJ Chark's the clear-cut number 1 guy here, he could easily get to there, but I think his ADP is kind of right where you should be drafting him, with the other guys right behind him, breathing down his neck. All right. Bold takes, favorite targets. Q. I don't even want to hear yours, but give us what you got.
I don't even want to agree with it, but if I might as well just roll with it. I don't like the story. Tim Tebow, he doesn't deserve to be trying out for a tight end position, but if he makes the team, he will finish top 15 in tight ends. And let me just give you a couple names who he will finish. I'll give you 3.
No offense.
He's gonna finish better than Jared Cook, Hunter Henry, Irv Smith Jr., Austin Hooper, Tyler
Why,
Higbee.
you had a question mark at the end of that. You're like Austin Hooper?
Well,
You know what you're saying at this point. Tim Tebow is finishing in the top 80 tight ends at best.
At best.
He'll finish better than both Patriots tight ends.
I bet you he
He
doesn't
won't.
have one
I
catch
would
this
bet
year.
on that. If he makes,
I bet
the
that he
bet will
gets-
be.
They
2.
have to get him at least.
I'll
one
bet
catch
you on
in
that.
You want to
plays.
make a bet?
But he has to make the team.
Yeah, I'll bet with the condition that he has to make the team, that he will not finish higher than both Patriots tight ends.
Oh, well, I guess I'm making 2 bets.
What was
Fine.
T-God's bet?
That he won't get 1 catch. I said he'll get 2.
2. Yo, if
All right,
he makes the team, he might get a catch. That's bold.
He
T-God's.
has to.
I don't. He has to.
He has to.
Dude, they'll bring him in on like a 2-point conversion or something and just throw it to him.
Does
Right.
preseason count?
Some wildcat type shit.
I don't know. I'll think about that bet.
Would you bet $50 on it?
No.
I'd bet 5 on him. The Patriots tight ends over him.
All right.
With the condition that he has to make the team, I'll give you
Well,
that.
you said what if he finishes better than 1? Then you win.
Yeah. You said both.
Yeah,
Fine.
you said
I'll
both.
say 1. I'll say 1.
All right.
If he finishes
Jesus,
better
take
than
the
even
wheel.
one of them, as long as they don't get hurt, obviously. All of our bets are barring injury.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. All right, 5. We got a 5. That's my shake.
Okay. Matt, go next while I write this.
Shit. All right. Yep. There I am. All right. So, bold take / favorite target. Talked about him earlier. Laviska Shenault Jr. He only had 100 or so less yards than Chark did last year on, I believe, more catches and the same amount of touchdowns. So this is I hate to bring up this analogy again because it bit me in the ass last year, but it was like the Coop and the Gallup. You were kind of getting the same receiver, except one was highly discounted. So I kind of regret saying this right now, but the same thing applies.
Yeah, he is definitely discounted. Just to build off your take, I would agree. I don't think he's going to be the wide receiver 1, but I do think he will be a top 30 wide receiver as my bold take. Showed some real flashes last year, and in the 8 games where he got at least 5 targets, he averaged 12.8 fantasy points, which is a very solid flex right there. I think DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault both could finish in the top 30 or higher. And then Marvin Jones would still be a pretty solid deep threat there. I think they're just going to be a good passing offense. Their defense isn't strong. They're going to have to throw a ton. So I like all 3 guys, but preferably Chark and Shenault. All right, T-Gods.
Okay.
Finish this off.
Where'd you say James Robinson was going? 23?
22 on
20,
Sleeper.
22.
I think 25 on just overall across the board here.
Okay. Well, he's going to finish inside the top 15 again. What?
I don't think he will.
Love it.
I
Thank
like
you,
the
Matt.
take.
Okay, so he's going to finish inside the top 15 minimum. They drafted Etienne to help him, as I said before. Like, he needed some rest. It was literally all James Robinson last year. So he might take a little step back, obviously, because he's not going to get all the snaps. But, yeah, he's going to finish inside the top 15. He put up 1,414 all-purpose yards and 10 touchdowns as an undrafted free agent. This man wasn't even drafted in the NFL.
Or fantasy. I don't think anyone.
And then he
drafted.
said,
Or
you know what? I'm
fantasy.
going to go to the worst team in the league and put
And
them
it was
motherfuckers
what,
on
like-
my back.
Like a week before the season, he found out he was starting when they got rid of
Yeah.
Fournette. Like, this man just came in and ate. Like, we saw what he could do. Jag saw what he could
I
do.
love him.
He's not
I
just
want
going to
his jersey.
He's not just going to disappear. He's here to stay. He's going to be good. He averaged 18 fantasy points last year.
A beast.
18
What did he finish? Like
a
12?
game.
He was RB6 or something. Dude.
Yeah, he's like 7 or 6.
RB6?
Yeah,
I
he
thought he
was-
fell off
he
towards
was
the end
so
of the year 'cause he
good.
was missing a couple
RB7.
games.
A rookie is not going to come
7.
in and just
Goated.
wipe him away. It's not going to happen.
Do you guys? You're
I'm
selling.
standing right there with you, Teagues.
You're selling
Thank
me
you.
on it. You're selling me on Robinson.
Good.
I like him. I'm still taking him over Etienne.
Shut up.
Yeah, if you're trying to sell Sean, then the fans watching, they might not be as hard headed, so that you might have sold them.
Y'all don't have to
Yeah.
believe me. I'll steal him.
Yeah, don't take him.
I'll
So
steal
do
him.
not
dude.
draft
You're
James
stealing him.
Robinson. Do not draft him.
Oh,
Do draft
crazy.
him. We have to give
Oh,
advice,
crazy.
man. Come on. You can't tell the fans not to draft him when we're talking them up.
Literally draft James
I'm talking
Robinson.
to you guys. Don't draft him.
Oh, I'm gonna draft him.
Yeah, after Etienne.
Probably not where T-God is gonna draft him. T-God's probably gonna beat me to him.